Every year. He works here for 8 months, and then he'll go back to Sichuan, which is 4,000 kilometers from.
8 months.
He work here, yeah.
I'm just gonna go for it. No blue sky, you know what that means. Good morning internet, it is 9:15 in the morning and welcome back to the channel. My eyes are sore because as you can see behind me, we are in a sandstorm. It's actually now not so bad, but last night a bad sandstorm came in, then you couldn't even walk outside. So it's a little bit better, but still the air is so dry and there's this super fine dust in the air. So we're not gonna ride our motorcycles today. They don't have coffee for breakfast, but they have soy milk. What else is for breakfast? We have these filled buns, different kinds, corn, boiled egg, peanuts, and then these are some vegetables. So welcome back again to Tazhong, right here in the dab smack middle of the Taklamakan desert of China, the biggest desert of China. We are surrounded by hundreds of kilometers of sand dunes, and well, there's a little bit of a sandstorm going on. It's not a really bad one, they said here, but we're not going to ride our bikes today, and instead Bing's friend is going to show us some places in the desert. Nice and clean. So good thing Frankie is living inside. See? Because I didn't want Frankie to be buried in the sand. See what we can find in this town. Okay, guess what I am walking on right now? I don't think you're gonna guess it. I have never seen anything like this before. But this is the airstrip. And they made it like this because there was nothing here. There was no machinery, no materials, nothing to build like an asphalt airstrip. So they brought all these plates here, I think with one truck. They rode all those hundreds of kilometers of sand dunes, because there wasn't a road yet, to drop off these plates so they could bring an airplane here. It's crazy, right? So they built this airstrip in 1987, the same year that Frankie was born. And they used it for about 10 years until the road was built, basically. So now it is not in use anymore. But the concept of building a runway like this actually comes from the Americans who did this in the Second World War against Japan. So they took that concept from them. And apparently at that time they could build an airport like that in 1 week, which is amazing. But yeah, now it's no longer in use anymore. The road is here and it's too costly to bring any planes. It's too far away for helicopters. The closest other place outside of the desert is over 460 kilometers from here. So a helicopter can't come here. And to bring planes is just too costly. So now everything that arrives here in Tazhong comes by road. So if you're into trucks, you're gonna like this place. This is some of the equipment that they use here in the desert. So China imported all these different desert trucks from different countries just to test them and see which one would perform best and which one they would wanted to keep using here in the desert. See, so they took an American truck, they took a Canadian truck, then they took a Kamaz, a Russian, then this is another American. But this truck didn't work because the sand in this desert is too soft for this type of truck. Then they tried, these are also Soviet trucks. They're actually used by the Soviets to carry missiles. But they also tried it here in the desert. And then they tried the Unimog. They really liked the Unimog, so they ordered 2,000 of them. And then they tried to actually make their own Unimog. So this one is a Chinese-made Unimog, but it never worked. They never managed to create anything remotely the same like the original Unimog. So and after all this importing of trucks and learning what works and what doesn't, China is now making their own trucks. We are now at the edge of the oil field. The wind is picking up. The wind's picking up. Look at the sand. Oof. Visibility is so low, you really cannot see far. Okay, bye. Bye. Okay. The sandstorm has come down. The sky is not perfectly clear yet. You can tell there's still like small fine dust in the air. But it is 100 times better than yesterday. And yeah, it's not windy anymore, but you can see they're just cleaning up the sand everywhere. Hello. 92? I don't know what that means. You have to stop like 3 meters before.
本次加油已完成，请放回油枪。12.60升，消费87元，祝您一路平安，欢迎再次光临。
So they don't have the any changes. I will pay with.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to you have to push outside of the white line, and then you start the engine.
Okay. So we are riding today to Kuka or Kuchi, was the old name. And before we reach there, we will first reach Lunai. The petrol station is talking to me. What was I saying? It's about 300 kilometers to Lunai. And that's basically, well, I think it's at least 250 kilometers of dunes. So to the north, yeah, 250 kilometers, only dunes. And then we kind of reached the edge of the desert again, so it will still, I think, look like desert, but maybe a little bit more green. So we're now right here in Tazhong, and that means that all of this is still dunes. And then at some point, yeah, we reach the main road, and then we're gonna continue here to Kuka. Okay. What an incredible place, right? Yeah, this is basically it. This is the town. It's tiny. A few restaurants, a few shops, one hotel. That's it. Some workshops and just oil workers, right? But yeah, you can also see it really well, the sun, right? That the sandstorm is not completely gone yet. There's still a lot of sand. But it's 100 times better than yesterday. Anyway, this morning there was some fireworks like right outside of my room. I was like, what's going on? Okay, good morning. It turns out, I mean, in China they use fireworks for a lot of different occasions. And also they were opening a new construction site, and they will do that. They will start with fireworks. I think it's to chase away like bad spirits. I have to say the advantage of this sandstorm is that it cooled down a lot, because when we got into the desert it was 40 degrees Celsius. they probably found some more oil here. Probably gonna build some wells here. Yeah, the oil is very deep here. They're drilling in between 5 and 10 kilometers. That's where the oil is sitting. That's also why it took a long time before they discovered the oil. Geologists, of course, suspected that this basin would hold oil, but for a long time they couldn't find it. And only until they start drilling over 5 kilometers depth, that's when they found it. The interesting thing is though, so in the last video I explained, right, so every couple of kilometers they drill a well, and with that water they are irrigating this green corridor next to the road. But the water is salty. It's not fresh water. Where did this guy come from?
I don't know, just come out from nowhere.
Yeah.
喊这警方浇水带。
就是你跟这些植物浇水啊。
是啊。
He's working in this area. He's in charge of the plants.
Ah.
So this is a water station.
Yeah.
So he is in charge of irrigation all of those plants. You know, of like 3 or 4 kilometers. 4公里, yeah, 4 kilometers.
4 kilometers.
He's working on 4 kilometers. 这边和这边。
是啊。
Both sides.
一边2公里。哎，10月底走。
Oh. He work every year. He works here for 8 months, and then he'll go back to Sichuan, which is 4,000 kilometers from.
8 months.
He work here, yeah.
Alone here all the time.
Yeah, all the time for 8 months. 那你在这儿工作8个月之后，对吧？那你回四川吗？
是。
待多久呢？
待4个月。
And stay there during the winter. Yeah. 是3月份到10月份对吧？你说的刚刚说的。
I'll start driving slowly.
Yeah, that's what I catch up.
Yeah. Wow, this was so interesting. We just stopped here for a second because we're about halfway through this stretch of the desert. So we wanted to have a little break, and then suddenly this man rocks up out of nowhere. It turns out, yeah, I didn't realize that. So I've been saying, right, every 3-4 kilometers there's a well where they pump up this salty water and grow these plants to hold the dunes. But there's a person living in each of those houses looking after his 4 kilometer stretch of plants. So, you know, those irrigation tubes, they have valves everywhere. So one day he opens like the valves on this side, and the other day he opens the valves on the other side, and anyway, he looks after the plants. Oh wait, 1 second. Look, they have these they have these fake police laser cops. They're really well made. Look, they're made in 3D. They look quite real from a distance, at least. Anyway, so yeah, we just had a chat with him, and so it turns out they live here for 8 months out of the year. There's somebody in each of those houses, well houses, and then yeah, goes home for 4 months. And in those 8 months, he lives in this little house, and he gets food and water supplied every 10 days, and that's it. Like, he's totally alone on his 4 kilometer stretch. I don't know, maybe sometimes he will meet up with the neighboring well, I don't know, but it's quite a lonely job. And so yeah, we were asking him, like, you know, do you like to work here and stuff, and he's from Chengdu, same area as Bing, which is really far away from here. It will take him like 3-4 days of traveling to get to this place. And he said that before he used to work in a factory, but factories have like age limits. So when you reach 55, you get fired from the factory because, well, they don't want people older than 55. So he said, look, he's happy to have a job. So he was like, as long as I can have a job, I'll come here and work. And now it makes sense, because every now and then we've been seeing like a person, which feels like in the middle of nothing there's a person walking on the road, and we're already thinking like, what are they doing here? But that's then somebody looking after his or her stretch of plants. I have a feeling that the sandstorm is getting worse again, or at least on this side.
Like the visibility is really bad, and there's absolutely no sunshine, even though it is noon. We made it to Lunai. We are having some sweet and sour pork. That's the first dish. With a bowl of rice, of course. And we got some mushroom. What is the name of this mushroom, you know?
No specific name.
No specific name.
Yeah, aubergine was a cookies.
Aubergine cookies.
Yeah.
It looks amazing.
With some meat stuffs.
Meat inside.
For you, this one.
Is it like sugarcane?
Yeah, sugarcane. Very sweet.
Then you eat the whole thing. How do you do that?
Take it easy.
Ah,
More, yeah.
peel it.
Yeah, peel.
Okay. Oh, am I doing it right?
Yes, correct. Perfect. More, all of them.
Until all the green is gone.
Yeah. You said you want something sweet, right?
Yeah. But it's like, it's good, but like the juice, but you don't eat it, right?
No, don't eat it.
Only the juice.
Only juice.
The problem I'm having in China is that there is no sweet things in China. Or like, in China people don't really eat like sweets or desserts or anything like that.
Not much.
Not much. So sometimes I have a little bit of a sweet tooth and I just want something sweet. So this is definitely, this is good. This is better than last time I I bought an ice cream because because I thought it was like a strawberry ice cream, and then I opened it. I also bought one for Bing, and then I opened it and it was not strawberry, but it was red bean ice cream. There is still so much sand everywhere. I've lost Bing. I'm riding back now. I missed the turn off.
You missed the turn, right?
Yeah.
You didn't notice.
No. I was like 2 kilometers away and I was like, hey, where's Bing? This whole environment kind of feels a bit eerie because of the sandstorm, you know? It's actually a lot worse here than this morning. We are now on the edge of the desert, and after this we're heading back into the mountains. So today has to be the last day of this sand in the air. Has to be. We made it to Kuka. Oh, it's late. It's already 6 o'clock. Nearly 9 hours on the bike.
Right in there.
Long day, huh? Ooh, this is my room. Wow. I feel like I'm the CEO of a big company. Look, what a nice desk, eh? Alright, I'm going to quickly end this video because I'm really quite tired. It's late, it's like 6:30 now. Today was kind of, in a way, it was a shame that the visibility was still really poor because of all the sand. But at the same time, it kind of had something, you know? I don't know, it gave everything like a little bit of a special, eerie feeling. Anyway, in the next ride, we are leaving the desert and we're gonna go high up in the mountains again, like up to 3,800, I think. So it's going to be a completely different environment again in the next ride. So I'm really looking forward to that. And then there should be no more sand at all, I think, in the mountains. It's going to be clear skies again, I think. I hope. Anyway, so that was it for today. I hope that you liked these episodes through this Taklamakan desert. It's a really special feeling to be in the middle of hundreds of kilometers of only sand dunes in any direction and only salty water to be found if you drill a hole. It's a really, yeah, it's something different. So I really enjoyed it. I hope you too. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up. Subscribe down below, and then I'll see you in the next video.
写的笔画现在是对的。
对的嘞，哇哦。 哇，这是对的。
Is this okay?
You're so good. Come on. We're coming here to rescue a car, but we got stuck. We need to rescue this car first. Yeah, we have to push it.
Push it.
Yes.
We're going to rescue this car with this one.